Okay, should be live.
Hello, Internet.
Hey, remember when Acclaim existed?
Yeah, they made Turok.
I don't know if I've played, like, any other Acclaim games outside of Extreme G.
Although, it was specifically like what, Iguana Studios or some shit. Could be completely misremembering the name, but regardless, made Turok.
Yeah,
Acclaim, I believe, was the publisher.
I think the developer of this was, like, Probe something. Okay, links are out. Let me know if the audio's good.
Nope, never let you know.
Why not?
Fuck you.
It's just rude. Hey, this is something not a lot of games nowadays do anymore, like having demos on the title screen, show you a bit of the gameplay. At least I can't think of any modern game that does this.
I'm louder than you, but otherwise, that's it.
Hmm?
I'm louder than you, but that's it.
Okay, I can bump you down a little bit. Is the game audio fine?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I've been in a bit of a racing game mood lately. I've started playing the F-Zero games for the first time. Currently on F-Zero X, which it's quite something. But I never played them when back then. Instead, when people think of a futuristic racer on N64, they think F-Zero. But what I had is this game, Extreme G, which, as you're, seeing, has, futuristic motorcycles. Oh, I think according to the manual, they're remote controlled, so no actual drivers. Not in this one. The rest of the Extreme G series has actual pilots. But yeah, so this game's. I figured play a bit of this because I'm just playing F-Zero and figured play this to see how it compares because I do rather like this game, but it is a bit simple and it's been a little while since I've played it to any significant degree. So yeah, I'm just gonna go into contest. Right, yeah. So you have sort of three cups: atomic, critical mass, and meltdown. These are a little different from like what you expect, like how Mario Kart or F-Zero handles it, where it's like you have the one cup that has these tracks, the next cup that has these tracks. This one, Atomic, I believe, has 4 tracks that you go through. Critical Mass keeps those tracks and adds like 4 more. And then Meltdown is all the tracks in the game. Which is an interesting way of handling that.
Marathon time.
I think I'm just gonna play through all 3 of these and see how long that takes. And if it's a short stream after that, I mean, there are...
Give up and cry.
There's some single-player stuff that, well, time trials and practice mode. Maybe I'll test that out. This is not a very content-rich game, so I'm actually going to go to intermediate because I have experience with the game. Okay. You know, last time I played this, it was on. I think I was playing this on BizHawk. Now I'm on Project 64, so but it stopped on this cart, which is the one I usually use. As a kid, I always liked using this one because I like how it looks. But I think stat-wise, this one is the best for just the default bikes, because there are a couple unlockable ones. Do I have any of them unlocked? Yeah, here's one. Roach. You can see its stats. Most of them are maxed out. And there's one other unlockable track, which is like this. It's an all-blue, like, shiny one called Neon. And its stats are all maxed out. So, the objectively best bike in the game. You know, to start out, I'll just go with this one, because one thing that I like about this vehicle that this one doesn't have is its main weapon. Like, there are 3 types of weapons you'll see above the stats. It says laser, and then this one pulse, and this one XL. I don't know if there's any meaningful difference between them, but I just like how the laser looks and sounds. Zero viewers. I don't think this is going to be a very popular one.
Red guy, you.
So yeah, you got that laser.
That's a bike with no rider. That's really weird to look at.
I mean, really, they're just cars with 2 wheels. So here you want to go left because you get this booster here. And also, if I use boost into a boost, you go really fast. This game is known for its high speed. Obviously, so is F-Zero, and I don't know which game is necessarily fast. Probably F-Zero most of the time, but you can get some crazy speed in this one. You have 3 boosts that's underneath, you know, your position, top left. I already used one. You have 3 for the entire race. They had no way to refill them, so. Ugh. Usually just want to find out what the best place to, I hate that. Sometimes you can go in between, like the boost thing there, but you want to find the best time to use it, and here it's boosting into a boost because they combo. Oh, that guy was ahead of me. So, this game doesn't have, like, drifting. Instead, you hold R to sort of, do sharper turns. Which, F-Zero also had something like that, but it also had drifting, and drifting was faster. Like, you can get some crazy speed with drifting in F-Zero X. But, yeah, the mechanics of this game are pretty simple, especially compared to F-Zero. But, I mostly like it for, the vibes. I don't know if you're listening to the game, but this game is a really good soundtrack. It's a short soundtrack, but I really like it. It's probably the main reason why I like techno so much. Also, the way this game works in terms of progressing to the next races, there's a certain place you need to go into to qualify. the higher your score, the more generous it is. So, like, at the start of that race, I needed to be at 4th to progress. And we'll see what it says going into the next race. Yeah, now I have to be at least 6th to qualify. If you do really well, you'll just be able to get in last and still qualify.
We here at Red Guy Productions like getting in last.
Shooting at me. On the lowest difficulty, the other vehicles won't use their default weapon against you. They'll only use the power-ups found on the track. But when you bump up the difficulty a bit, they'll actually use those. So this is a bit, this game does have combat elements, but it's, I guess, a bit closer to how Mario Kart handles power-ups or its weapons, where they just slow your opponents down. There's no way to destroy the other vehicles, and you can't be destroyed yourself. When your shields are down, you get slowed down even more.
Hey.
In the second game onward, they actually make it where your vehicle can be destroyed. The fourth game has its power-up system where you when you get a power-up, it's always the same one, but then you get another one and it progresses to the next one, and there's a whole line of them. The last one in that line will just instant kill the racer in front of you.
Huh.
Kind of busted. That just kind of became my dominant strategy in that game. The bit that I played it, where I just, keep getting save up my power-ups until I could just kill the one in front of me. Okay. You can only hold one item or one weapon at a time. A lot of it is just a variety of like missile types. I have this purple one, which will just shoot both of them out at once. Yellow ones will shoot out one at a time. The amount of missiles you get per weapon can vary. Like, you could just have one, or you could have like 4 or 5. Purple ones shoot all at once. Yellow ones shoot one at a time. Red ones shoot one at a time and are homing. And green ones shoot backwards. No, this is not pod racing. We're in futuristic remote-controlled bikes.
Now, this isn't pod racing.
So, because I got first in the last 2 races, I need to be at least 8th to qualify for the next race. There are only 8 racers. It is interesting comparing this game to F-Zero X. In a lot of ways, both games are more and less impressive than each other. Obviously, this game has visuals over F-Zero X. I'm sure you're aware, but F-Zero X is one of the very few N64 games to run at 60 frames per second. Which was definitely necessary for that game. I can't imagine playing that game with frame dips. This game's frame rate is fairly good, but, there were dips. There was one earlier in the race. I don't think it's 60 when it's at its best, but I'm not usually the best at telling the difference between, like, 30 and 60 without a direct comparison. I don't know if you can tell, but you're also looking through Discord.
This one's capped at 30.
But yeah, visually, this game is a lot more impressive than F-Zero X, because F-Zero X sacrificed its visuals for frame rate, which was a good call, even if the game looks a little bland. I don't think it looks awful, it's just, you know, there's not a lot going on in the backgrounds. And the vehicles are low poly, and they doesn't take very long for them to get even lower poly when farther away. But F-Zero has 30 racers, which this game was only 8. Which, you know, to be fair, Mario Kart was also 8. But, you know, that was... Actually, I forget when these games came out relative to each other. But... yeah, visually, this has it. But F-Zero X, you know, along with the 30 racers, is also much more mechanically deep. There's not much I'm doing here other than just holding the gas and, you know, using R to make sharper turns. And the tracks can be a bit narrow, and while the controls can be a little precise and with the speed that you're going, a lot of times, if you're not that good at the game, or even... I forgot to use both my other boosts, but it didn't matter. But, if you're new to the game, you'll probably find yourself, like, just sliding against the walls a lot. Which also happens in F-Zero, but... it's not as punishing as F-Zero, because, you know, you can't blow up. You just get slowed down a bit, and the amount you get slowed down isn't too bad, because, like... you can see I'm having a pretty easy time with this. There is a starting boost you can do where you want to get your thing in the red part of that to get a slight boost. It's nothing much. Oh, I love the music of this track. Another, like, interesting comparison between this and F-Zero when it comes to spectacle. Because obviously, like, just by default, this game has better visuals, but, you know, F-Zero X doesn't lack in spectacle, because the way it achieves its spectacle is with the track layouts and, like, stuff like the tubes. Where this game is mostly just looking at cool environments, and then there's this part where for some reason, this part really speeds you up. And I should have saved my boost for that to make it go even faster, but it's alright. But, like, you know, F-Zero will have you doing, like, crazy tracks that are, like, shaped like a hand, or you'll be on the outside or inside of tubes, and, like... well, this game is just like, here's some cool details in this weird part where the track's all twisted. But mechanically, it's not that different. This is a very straightforward track. As I mentioned to you earlier, this is a game that I probably like a lot more than it's good. Not that it's bad, it's just a little shallow. Again, I really like it for its vibes. You got a good sense.
Failed.
You got a good sense of speed in this game, and the aesthetics, the visuals, the music. It's all really really nice. Doesn't have a lot of content. It's not very deep mechanically, so if you're looking for a deep futuristic racer, well, you probably already played F-Zero. For some reason, I have quite a few racing games on N64, aside from, like, this and Mario Kart, and Diddy Kong Racing. had a Cruisin' USA, Top Gear Rally, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, and Hot Wheels Turbo Racing. And of all the games, Mario Kart and Extreme G were the ones I played the most. Mario Kart for obvious reasons, and, you know, this for its vibes. I haven't really played this game multiplayer much, but I can imagine it probably falls into a similar trap as, like, some others where it feels a lot better than, like, Mario Kart 64, but Mario Kart 64 is probably the much better multiplayer game. Alright, well, the Atomic Cup is done, so now for Critical Mass. I wonder, should I keep it on intermediate or go up to extreme? Or maybe I should do these all on intermediate and then do them all again on extreme just to have enough content for a stream. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do.
You know better than me.
Gonna now place God. I like the names of the vehicles. Raze, Rana, Khan, Grimace. This one's probably the most iconic one. Muga, Jolt, Main, Apollyon, Roach, and then the last one, Neon. Okay. So each of these cups are gonna start on the same track, so this is the same track I started with the last one. So I mentioned the laser that the other vehicle had. This one, it's XL or whatever, which shoots these green circles. The pulse is basically the same, but it's like purple orbs. You can see someone shooting at me with them. Mechanically, I don't know if there is a difference between the three default weapons, but I always like the laser just for its sound, and it's a laser. The default weapons you do have ammo for, and I think they refill. It's either when you finish a lap, or there's a certain pickup that refills it, like that right there. I missed it, but I guess we'll see when we cross. It's either... Okay, yeah, crossing the finish... Doing a lap refills your weapon. Those other power-ups refill your shield. And my cat is in the way.
The cat says you don't need a shield.
Oh, that was me. So that wave thing that just appeared, that's this game's sort of equivalent to the blue shell. It travels across the entire track. Instead of, you know, wiping out others like in Mario Kart, it just kind of slows you down a bit and also locks up your control so you can't turn. So I was unable to take the path with the boosts on it.
Easy. Caught.
Yeah, getting hit by weapons isn't very punishing because it does. You know, you don't like spin out like in Mario Kart. You just slow down. Which could hypothetically make it a bit. Well, using the power-ups can be a bit tough to bring them down. If you're close enough to them, using your default weapon is actually really good because just you can keep a constant stream of hits on them, which slows them down like quite a bit. It's always fun when you see them using a boost and then you just make them waste their boost by keep shooting them with your default weapon. Yeah, I think now I'm actually playing this right after playing F-Zero X. That game is the faster one.
Lord of Nom Nom says, God, I remember this game. Rented it every weekend and played it with my sister. Good times.
Nice. Hey, use a boost right away, because that one starts with a boost. Oh, actually, I should, like, after I'm done with all the cups, put in, like, the some cheats, because there are cheats that you can get when you complete cups. Like, it sort of tells you you saw it when I completed the last one. There's some, like, fun stuff you could do. What I find funny is there's one cheat that describes itself as making the game uglier. There's one that turns all the vehicles into rocks. There's one that... I forget if it's the same one as the ugly one, but I think it might be a different one that turns everything into a wireframe. But there's ones that, like, increase your boosting speed and also unlimited boosts. And when you turn that on and you use the neon bike... Actually, I mean, you might not even need to use the neon bike. But when you do it, you go so fast that, like, the screen pulls out and then goes upside down. I'll definitely have to show you that at the end of this, because that's fun. You know, F-Zero might be faster generally, but does it go so fast that the screen goes upside down?
Something Sonic fans talking about outrunning the camera. I'll be back. Give me a...
Alright then. Yeah, even on the intermediate difficulty, not having much of an issue from the AI. I guess if you want a futuristic racing game, but F-Zero is too hardcore for you, this is a good alternative. I think it's at this point where the tracks start changing, or... Yeah, this is a different track than what was the third one in the previous cup. Yeah, you don't want to take that right away. But you know what? Maybe it'll make this race a little more of a challenge. Maybe I'll actually get to use some of these weapons. Yeah, too far away. Oh, another one of these twisting paths. Should have saved the boost for here. I love the timing right there where the lightning bolt happens as you pass and it's in between the wreckage. This game has some pretty good visual spectacle. I'll need to play like more futuristic racers because, like, aside from this F-Zero X and Extreme G2, I haven't really played any other futuristic racers on the N64. I've been wanting to try Wipeout 64, although I probably should play the other Wipeout games first. But from the little bit I've seen of futuristic racers on N64, this one I think is most impressive visually. Yep. So there's a ramp at the very start of this track that you don't want to take at the start because you won't be fast enough to clear it, and instead you'll land on like these pipes and slow down a lot. And that's what I did, so I'm a little behind. Oh. I don't know if you saw that, but like there's a nice part where like the lightning strikes when you get to a certain part, and it's like in between the wreckage.
Hmm.
He's got like cool visual spectacle like that. Oh. Now I'm back in first. Oh no. Oh, the assholes locked me up when I wanted to make that turn. So yeah, this is the first in a series. There are only 4 games. The second game was also on N64, but I believe it also came out on PC at the time. I think at the time, at the very least. This game, I believe, is N64 exclusive. The second game is on Steam, but only the second game. Which I find disappointing because that's my least favorite. I don't know, something about the second game, like, I need to actually put more time into it, because, like, every time I go to play it, something about it rubs me the wrong way, and then I just stop and then go back to this.
Mm.
One thing is it feels slower, which is kind of weird because that's the game that introduced one staple that Extreme G is sort of known for, is when you go fast enough you break the sound barrier. That started in the second game, but that game feels a lot slower than this one. But so yeah, I need to give the second game more of a shot. Also, another thing that annoyed me about that one is it was a bit too easy to like rub against a wall and then, which will sort of make you spin and turn around. Like, I don't think you can turn around in this game. Ugh. Or at the very least, or at the very least, it's not easy for that to happen. So, there are a lot of times where races are just messed up. That game is the first one in which, you and the other racers can die. I forget if falling off the track instantly kills you in that one. This game, the tracks are pretty, safe. There are very few occasions in which you can actually fall off the track, because they have rails, like, the entire time. There are some jumps that you can make that if you aren't going fast enough, you will fall off. But when you do, you just kind of work back to the track. And it's a lot faster than Lakitu. But yeah, so the third and fourth games were GameCube, PS2. I don't remember if either of them were on Xbox, but they're at the very least on GameCube and PS2. And I haven't played much of the third game, mainly because I got both the third and fourth game like at the same time. I bought them used. But when I got the third game, I opened it up, and the disc was for the fourth game. And then, I got the fourth game separately, because, So, I had to reorder the third game to actually get it. But, while I was waiting for it, might as well play the fourth one. So I played a bit of the fourth one while waiting for the third one. And when I finally got the third one, the disc was kind of messed up. Like, you could play it, but it crashed easily. So I didn't play much of the game. Now that, I have Dolphin, there's not really an excuse to not play it. And I'll probably get to it soon. But the third and fourth game are fucking fast. But they also work like Mario Kart with its CCs. So, like, the higher difficulties go faster. And, holy fuck do they go fast when you're on the highest one. I did rather, enjoy the fourth one when I played it, but it has been a while and I need to play it again. Those games are probably more mechanically deep, but not as much as F-Zero, so... Extreme G, I think, is a good alternative to F-Zero if you're looking for a futuristic racing game, but aren't up to the hardcore nature of F-Zero. I mean, there's also Wipeout, but I need to play more Wipeout. I think I've only sampled a bit of the first Wipeout, and aside from that, I played a bit of Ballistic NG a while ago, which is another game I need to go back to, which was basically a spiritual successor to Wipeout. And it, like, looks almost exactly like Wipeout, so...
Nice.
If you are a classic Wipeout fan, there you go. Wipeout was always, like, the second most popular futuristic racing series, next to F-Zero. But, like, despite being number 2, it's not talked about that much. Like, that series actually continued for quite a while. Like, it was on the PS2. I think there was like at least one PS3 game, maybe more. I think the PS4 had a collection of like remakes of older ones. I don't know if it's still ongoing, but like that series continued longer than you'd expect for how little you hear about it. And yeah, it has been one that I've been intending to try. It's interesting because that is mostly a PlayStation series, but it did have an N64 game. Which I think I heard is sort of a, not exactly a port of the second Wipeout game, but used the second game as like a base and then went from there. I don't know exactly how it compares content-wise. Honestly, when it comes to futuristic racing games, it seems like the big three, and big is in massive quotes, is F-Zero, Wipeout, and Extreme G a little bit behind, but I don't know. The genre itself doesn't seem to be existing much nowadays outside of indies. There was this one indie futuristic racing game I got a couple of years ago. I think Colin got it for me for like my birthday, which I haven't played much of it. So I'm gonna need to try that again. I forget what it was called, but there's that. There's Ballistic NG I showed you the other day. Someone making their own F-Zero like. So there are still futuristic racing games in the indie scene.
Just go play Fast RMX.
There's, that. There's that series, yeah. You know, racing games are kind of a weird genre for me. For like, it's not one that I immediately think of as like when I think of like some of my favorite genres, but you know, I have played quite a few racing games, and I've enjoyed quite a few. Most of them, admittedly, being Mario Kart, but I don't know. I like this. I've been liking F-Zero from what I've been playing. Diddy Kong Racing. Hell, I even liked Donkey Kong Barrel Blast. But, it's just... It's not one that, like, immediately comes to mind when I'm thinking, like, oh, that's a genre I love. And, you know, I have been intending to play more of them. Like I said, the Wipeout games, finish up F-Zero. I know I probably should play Crash Team Racing at some point. That game has also been a little weird for me as someone who's not played any, has only played like a couple Crash games, one of which was Tag Team Racing, funnily enough. But, so it's like, it's one of those where it's like, by the looks of it, there's no reason why I wouldn't like the game. But, haven't had super, like, much of a desire to play it, and I think it mostly just comes down to it being a Crash game. Mostly because I haven't really played much Crash games, and it's kind of weird to be going on that one. I don't know. Maybe I should just fucking suck it up and play it. But, I don't know, you ever have, like, games like that where it's like, you don't feel like there's any reason why you wouldn't like it, but some weird, arbitrary, petty thing is stopping you from trying it?
Yeah. Yeah. Used to be like that with Kid Icarus Uprising.
Kind of felt the same way about, like, Spyro, where it's like... And I don't even know what it is about those games that is holding me back. Like, I could at least make up some stupid excuse for Crash Team Racing. But not Spyro. Like, I don't know why I haven't wanted to play those.
So, I'm just playing some other one.
Hmm.
I just got taken in by a police officer for underage drinking. And then he confiscated my weapon.
Nice. Ooh, I think I remember this track as a nasty power-up. Yeah, I believe power-ups are track-specific, which, you know, means you can't really make the most out of it, but the weapons aren't really as, you know, deep as, like, Mario Kart items, so... Mostly it just comes down to shooting missiles at others. But then you have, like, ones like that, one that guy has, where you sort of cover your back. Oh, that was a mistake. You can, in fact, hurt yourself with your own weapons. Whoa. Ooh, I barely made it into that path before the wave hit. Oh yeah, here it is. So there are various mines that you can place. This is one of them. I drop that, and then run into the pillar like an idiot. And now I drop to the second one. That is a teleporter mine. If you hit the one that's the second one that's dropped, it teleports you to the first one, so it teleports you back in the track.
Jesus.
Which I think is a pretty fun idea for a power-up. And like that purple thing I passed was, you know, one of them. Don't touch them. Like, that is, I think, a really fun concept for a racing game power-up, and like, this is the only game I can think of that has something like it. Now, I think once you once you drop the first one, like, the second one will automatically drop after a certain amount of time if you don't do it yourself. So you can't just like drop one at the start and then drop the second at the end. So, you know, it's not like busted, but, you know, that would be kind of a funny item if they put it in like Mario Kart, you know? But imagine like a warp pipe power up.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, don't touch him. Yeah, I think that probably is the most creative weapon in the game. So what's your experience with racing games?
A lot of GameCube racing games.
Okay.
Played some others, obviously. But, like... I played, I actually only own one racing game on the N64. And that's Road Rash 64.
Not even Mario Kart?
Yeah, I had it on Wii Virtual Console. I really like Road Rash 64. It's a fun game.
Seemed fun from the bit I played with you.
Most of my racing game experience as a kid came from the GameCube. I don't think I had anything on like Super Nintendo or Genesis as a kid. We do seem to have like 2 Road Rash games on Genesis, but I don't remember them. I don't know why. But on GameCube, I played, first off, a lot of Double Dash. I played a lot of Sonic Riders. One of my friends had a copy of Kirby Air Ride I liked to borrow. And I played a good amount of Crash Nitro Kart. Didn't play F-Zero GX until far later. But definitely played some fun-ass racing games on GameCube a lot as a kid. Lived and breathed Mario Kart DS for a while, as well as Mario Kart Wii. But on Wii, it was pretty much just Mario Kart for a lot of these consoles. Like, I can't think of many racing games I had on Wii U, 3DS, etc. Wii U, and got Maximum Velocity through 3DS Ambassador. Which I started to rather enjoy, especially SNES F-Zero. Continued to be petty about the fact that it didn't have multiplayer, but Super Mario Kart does.
Man, it still bothers me. Like, they make F-Zero, and then they're gonna make Mario Kart, and they're just like, what if it controlled like ass? F-Zero controlled well.
When the Switch came out, I got Fast RMX rather early on, and I rather enjoyed that game. I only started to experiment more with some other racing games as I got older. Oh, there is one exception. I also had on my DS. On top of Mario Kart DS, I had Diddy Kong Racing DS. Eventually lost that game, but I did play a good amount of Diddy Kong Racing with that.
Oh yeah, one of the cheats is fisheye for a fisheye lens.
Amazing.
Alright, now for Meltdown.
Got a cat on my lap and he's very happy.
You know, I'm gonna use Grimace.
Right, dear.
Yeah, as I said, I had a bunch of N64 racing games, but after that, it was mostly just Mario Kart.
Oh yeah, and the most recent thing is I just bought last night CTR remake on Switch. So,
Yeah.
hey. I might end up playing an emulated version of the original CTR before I boot that up.
Yeah, that's what I do. Oh shit!
Nice.
Okay, so that confirms it. So my vehicle turned around, but it automatically faced me in the right direction afterwards. So yeah, you can't turn around in this, unlike the second game.
Even more strict than Mario Kart 8. You know, I did play through a little bit through Sonic Adventure DX, the Game Gear Sonic Drifts. I don't think it'd be a shock for me to say I didn't care much for them.
You know, I wonder when you could pinpoint where racing games got good, because like I don't know.
They were good on arcades for a while.
Fair enough. Like I guess I should console racing games.
Now, honestly, the console racing games that look overall the best, besides ones that are very, very different, are the ones that try to be like the pseudo 3D with like the generated turns. That even the NES had some of those.
Yeah.
They look decent at least. That said, you could also go and say something like Excitebike.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is pretty different.
I think I have actually played a little bit of Excitebike through Animal Crossing.
Excitebike's not bad, but I also never put too much time into it.
Yeah, I might have to try that. Forgot to mention earlier, I played a few NES racing games, RC Pro AM 1 and 2, and then Super Sprint, and wasn't impressed. They're all isometric racing games. The Pro AM games, the camera's pretty zoomed in, so you can't see the whole thing, which means that it's hard to react to things happening. And I don't know, it just wasn't interesting. Super Sprint, you could see everything, and like I only played like a couple minutes of that, and it like didn't control well, and when you lost one race, you went back to the title screen. So I was like, yeah, I don't feel like playing that. As much as I really don't like Super Mario Kart, maybe there's a little bit more to it than those games.
Yeah. Super Mario Kart's not like the worst video game I've ever played. It's
just controls like ass, and the AI is dumb. Ugh. It's really hard not to scrape against the wall on that path.
Also, wait, I just fucking realized.
You just realized?
So I said that I got arrested for underage drinking, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. What happened is there's a character in this establishment who says, "Hey, you're cute. How about I buy you a drink?" Right?
Hmm.
And like, if you say no, she says, "What, are you afraid of the cops?" Now, at first, I was just like, "Is this an older woman flirting with like a 12-year-old?" And I was just like, "Hold on. Well, maybe she's underage too, and that's part of the point here with the 'What, are you afraid of the cops?' is, and she's not." But then I remembered the scene where the cop walks in. He walks in looking around, and then he goes and looks at the lady, and then looks at you and arrests you. Is that implying that she wasn't underage?
Uh-oh.
Underage drinking isn't as bad as, Intense a child? Holy shit. Stranger danger. I wonder if she has new dialogue. Because I got arrested. No more drinks on my bill. Uh-huh. Fuck off.
Actually, I think I remember. Yeah, there's the first-person view.
Nice.
I like how they have a 3D model of the power-up that you currently have, because you can't see it on you in first person.
Yeah.
Also, you see those 3 things under my position on the top left?
Those are,
yeah. On original hardware, you can't tell. I never knew that the red part was an N that's spinning. I just thought it was just a red circle, because you can't tell that on actual hardware. Actually putting up a fight this race. Oh, actually, you know what? Another thing I forgot to mention about Extreme G2 and why that game is so disappointing. The music is... like, I really like the music in this game, but it's so bland in the second game. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This guy wants to fight. they could stop me at the end. One downside Grimace says is, I think, his low weapon.
I'll be back.
Right. I think went on the other track. Okay. Forgot to use my boost last lap. Oh well. 2 boosts for this lap then. I don't know if anyone is even really watching this, but if there is anyone, is that if you guys played this game? I'll select the music of this track. I think I dodged that thing. for the longest time with this weapon that I have on me that I like, couldn't tell what it was, but you know, it's easy to tell it's like a mortar launcher. You can hear that blue shell equivalent coming. Or at least I heard it earlier. I don't actually know how far it travels if it actually does hit everyone. And the environments in this game are so cool. More dirty and grimy future than what F-Zero has. I think this is a new one. Yeah, not a boost pad. Boost missed. I don't know. That was always weird. The on-track boosts are just weird red mist. Like, Earth is like post-apocalyptic or some shit. Just, I mean, this is a city. Oh, I don't think it properly. Oh, I didn't actually use the boost. What the hell? I hit the button. There we go. It's the speed I'm looking for. Going smoothly. Dude was a whole 10 seconds behind me. I wonder who thought, like, hey, let's put a racetrack in our mine. I think that was like a flash mine or something. Some of those drills are still going, so it's not an abandoned mine. I'm just trying to work, and the whole ass of race happening while you're trying to. Sorry, it's been a bit boring. I already raced on most of these tracks and unsure what to say. And there are also invisible walls that stop you from, like, flinging yourself off the track, so... yeah. Who put that there? Let's do 'em. This game can be pretty fast. Well, let's check out what race we're at. I think there's 12 races in total for this one. Oh. Oh, this one. I think this is the one. Yep, the fire one. This is the only track that has a missing railings at points, which makes it the hardest track in the game. Oh, and especially makes that power-up more of a hazard. If you lose control, you could just fall right in easily. This one definitely need to be careful with, and I remember as a kid having a very difficult time playing through this track. There's also parts where there's just normal hot ground that you don't fall off of, but still damage you. Oh, now I hear it coming. Yeah. That's a mean weapon to put on this track.
Yes, you are.
No, you. So, this track is a bit of a spike. Oh, what the fuck? That's never happened before. So this is the only track that doesn't have railings the entire time, which means you can fall into the lava like that.
Hey, that's rail.
Well, there are railings, but not on the entire track. Sure. So yeah, this track can be a bit of a spike, and I'm fucking up. I remember as a kid, this one was always the one that gave me the most shit. Like, you know, the rest of the track's pretty easy to get through. Like, they can be tough to get through the most like, if you're speed running, like, you have to get good at to not, like, scrape against the walls constantly. But, you know, casually playing, it's not, you know, too bad. Then this one hits you, and it's just like, oh, you actually have to make sure you're on the track and not falling off. It also makes boosting more of a trickier thing. You have to make sure to time it just the right place so you don't kill yourself. And also that blue shell equivalent that locks up your controls is especially mean on this track. I like how it ends with you teleporting back to the start. I might I might not win this race. Oh.
Acquire the good.
Oh, managed to avoid getting hit by that. I mean, I've gotten first place in every previous race, so there's no way I'm losing.
Acquire the good.
I mean, I have. I've done good enough to not need to worry about the outcome of this race.
Sounds like cope.
No.
No!
No!
No! You're coping.
I'm still gonna get second place.
Lot of cope.
I can't catch up to him, and there's not any good weapons I can pick up here. See, look, I'm still in the lead. I have 57 points. Guy below me has 51. Or did I say 57? I meant 75. Points needed is 58, so, like, he doesn't even have that much. Also, interesting detail is all the other racers use the same models as the vehicles you can use, but their colors are different. You can't use the colors that they have. Alright, what's next? Oh, another thing I forgot to bring up is the Extreme G series has a very weird way of naming the games. So, like, this game's nice and simple. It's Extreme G. But then I think the second game is Extreme G XG2, or something like that. The third game is XG3 Extreme G Racing. And then the final game is XGRA Extreme G Racing Association. I need to do the weird shortening of the titles. Why couldn't it just be Extreme G3?
Fuck you.
Also, extreme in these games is spelled with an E, but when they're shortened, it's XG instead of EG.
For example, wait a minute.
Ugh. Both next to each other with 3 homing rockets. Ugh. He hit me with 2 of them and he still couldn't pass me. I think I hit that satellite. What the fuck? So, what are your impressions of the game?
Looks pretty good.
So wait, telling me this is a pretty cool futuristic racing game with a great soundtrack and nice visuals, and it's gay as well? Based!
Yeah,
Sign me up.
you're playing it.
When is XJ9?
What, extreme jeer? Oh,
I'm assuming he meant G.
or XJ9, the model number for Jenny in My Life as a Teenage Robot.
I didn't really watch that show, so
Good show.
this is a cool track. You go through like these like weird like energy ball force fields or teleporters. I don't know. And then you get, it sort of like changes the environment a bit. Oh, okay. Should have went over there. Also, there's only 4 Extreme G games, so it's, if there's gonna be a 9th one, it's gonna be a while. Especially since the series is dead, and I don't think anyone's in a rush to bring it back. Also, I'm not sure who owns it, because Acclaim published the game and they're dead. I don't know if Probe or whatever even still exists, and if they do, if they own it. So, I wouldn't count on Extreme G ever coming back. And, you know, as much as I do like this game and, you know, the 4th one as well, I'm not really itching for the series to come back. Would be nice to have more futuristic racers in a similar style, but I'm not really that attached to the name. The series game doesn't even really have much in the way of story or lore. Like, I think it's literally just it's the future. Earth is fucked up. Rich people are bored. Let's have a racing tournament.
Amazing.
Wait, that sounds familiar. It's literally the same as like F-Zero, just minus the Earth is fucked up part.
Space. Space!
Honestly, a lot of these tracks I don't even know if we're on Earth, like this one. Like, there are parts where you can see multiple planets in the background, like... Well, final race. This one's more of a rural area and it has UFOs.
Whoa.
This is probably like the nicest location in the game. It's like most of the general aesthetic of this game is very dark, grungy, dirty type of future. Like, you have ruined cities and like wastelands, but then this place is just like green. One thing I forgot to bring up that is pretty fun is if you rank low enough in a race to not qualify, you just kind of lose the whole thing. And what happens is you have You know, that same location where like your vehicle is when you win the Grand Prix. Um, but then a big like your vehicle is on the podium, like before, but a big magnet comes, picks it up, and it drops it off the ledge where there's like fire below, and it explodes.
Amazing.
In the second game, when you lose, that game you actually has pilots. So your pilot is next to their vehicle on this platform, and then like they're like mad, and then they kick their vehicle, hurt their foot, and then the platform turns over, and both you and the vehicle fall and explode.
Damn.
It's like shit. You lose this race, they just fucking kill you.
You don't deserve to live.
And there's F-Zero where you could just easily die during the race, but then you're okay for the next race. Ooh. Messed that guy up. Bro, I have more missiles than you. What do you think you're gonna do? And there you go. $99 points, I think the total is 100, so at least I assume so. Got first in it, all but one race. Try answering your name is Banana. I don't know what that does. Just guessing. Maybe it makes you more slippery. Okay, well, I did all the cups on intermediate. I was thinking doing them on hardest difficulty, but I don't know how interesting it would be just to see all the races again, but a little harder. And you wanted to.
I do have thing, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'm not gonna do another cup. Instead, gonna look up how to look up the cheats to I want to show off how ridiculous the speed can get. Okay, I like the one that turns your vehicles into rocks is called Boulder Dash. Okay, yeah, so there's extreme speed. I don't know if I can do it in practice mode. Go atomic. Might as well go highest difficulty anyway. How do I?
Name Zell button. Because when you unlock the cheats, didn't it say use enter names?
I'm hitting L and it's making a noise. It's weird. What is this? It's okay. It says I need to name it. Do I... Oh, I guess I just go up and rename it here. Let's see. Simply name it Extreme. Or no, not with an E. Yeah, there we go. And then there...
It says name red there.
Well, yeah, because I put that in... it made a sound effect.
It doesn't like... It doesn't... Got you.
Yeah. I believe there was one for... Unlimited Nitro, there we go. Let's see. Nitroid. Nitroid was this Nitro Red Metroid. Okay. Wait.
Oh, then.
There's a cheat that allows you to win a race by quitting.
Funny. Did laugh.
Okay. I think those are the main two ones. So.
Oh, did you beat the game already?
I played through all the cups. This game doesn't have much content, so now I'm showing off some cheats. I'll go play as Roach.
And Terena, I've got stuff to tell you after this.
Huh.
Okay, so you'll see how fast this game can be. Let's use boost. There we go. Yeah, you see it briefly went upside down.
Jesus Christ.
Now you need cheats in order to get speed this ridiculous, but
Why wasn't the game designed
there it is.
around this?
There it is, upside down.
Oh god!
Can F-Zero do that? I'm still somehow only in third place.
You know, just from this one part, I'm gonna have to listen to the soundtrack now.
I'm sure I've showed you this soundtrack before. But yeah, this game is a really good soundtrack. The second game was disappointing with its music. Like, seriously, why does it go upside down?
Something with the zoom out effect or FOV effect.
Yeah, I guess. Wow, are they AI really like this aggressive on the highest difficulty? I set it to the highest difficulty. It's like they're actually keeping up with me and passing me, or maybe it's because I'm bumping into too many walls. Because this speed is not controllable. I don't think this game is too egregious with its rubber banding. Like, there have been plenty of times I just get ahead and they can't do anything. Unless I wonder the cheats also apply to them. I don't know. But yeah, just this game can be silly.
Yes, you are.
I'm this game?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Cancelled.
Cancelled?
Uh-huh.
What do you have against silly things?
Silly's a slur.
Ooh.
Silly people.
What? That makes no sense.
Red. Absolute worst.
How is there someone in front of me? Oh shit. If I had the neon bike, I'd be going even faster.
How'd you get the neon bike?
Probably beating all or at least some of the cups on the highest difficulty. I'd assume. You usually just put in a cheat to unlock all this stuff. There's not much unlockables in the game anyway. Like 2 extra vehicles and I think 1 extra track that's not in the cups, but that's a pretty basic track.
Base.
Big.
And is this for the N64?
Yeah. Extreme G.
I knew I'd recognize that look.
Oh shit. Second place, what the fuck? Yeah, I think the speed boost might also apply to them, because, like, I don't know, I was boosting at the same time as that guy, and he was still ahead of me for a bit. And imagine if I applied the fisheye cheat to this as well. I wonder how much they tested the cheats. Did they see this and were like, yeah, leave it in the game?
I would guess that they absolutely knew that was something that could happen.
Ah, they're messing up my boosts. You know what, actually, I think I know what I think I'm gonna end it off by letting them all beat me, because I think I need 7th to qualify, so you can see the game over screen.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is.
Uh-oh.
Get fucked.
It's a good thing these vehicles are remote controlled. You know, that's not the case in the second game. All right, well, that was Extreme G. Not much else to say. I guess there is that one extra track. I think you can only get it in like. Oh, I don't have it unlocked. Never mind.
You'll never know.
If you want to find out what the extra kind of lame track is, play the game yourself, I guess. You can buy it nowhere. It's never been re-released. Emulate the shit.
Red!
You could buy the second one on Steam for some reason, but the second one's not as good and has lame music, and that port may or may not be of good quality. I don't know. Haven't tried it. But old PC game.
Red, the Susan might be watching.
And not anymore.
No, the Susan.
Oh, right. I don't care. Fuck you, Susan. So yeah, I like this game. As I've said before, I probably like it more than it is good because it's not very deep. Pretty shallow. But got good music and visuals and overall vibe. I like it.
That's sitting here like I'm vibing.
It's demos in first person mode, but you can still see like the weapons on it at certain points.
Beta content.
Yeah. I don't know anything about like development history of any of these games. I don't know if there's anything interesting behind them. Alright. Well, I guess that'll do it for this stream. A shorter one, but this game doesn't have a lot of content. I could, play through all the tracks again on a higher difficulty, but I doubt that'd be very interesting, so...